hybrid power. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are test driving a 2023 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. And for 2023, Toyota has made some changes to this car. The electric motor is a little bit more powerful than it was last year. It gained, I think, 10 torque and 13 horsepower. And it lost, the car's EPA rating went down by 6 miles per gallon on the highway. And I drove and reviewed a 2022 model. I'll put links to those videos in the description, and I've also reviewed this one, so I have tons of Toyota Corolla LE hybrid content. One thing that I feel has happened with this car, I actually don't like driving this car as much as I like driving the 22. It is marginally faster, I'll give it that, but it's really a negligible difference. I mean, we're talking about, you know, 13 horsepower and 10 torque, right? It's not a huge change, but I really feel like this hybrid powertrain with this new, whatever they call it, low drag, high efficiency electric motor is just like, it's not quite as smooth as last year's was. You kind of feel when it's doing its thing, you know? If it cuts out power on the highway because it can cut the gasoline engine off and make enough power with the electric motor, you kind of feel, not really a jolt, but just you feel it. You feel that it's doing stuff. And I found the hybrid in last year's car, or the electric motor in last year's car, to just be a little bit more refined. So it's still a decent car to drive. I mean, look, it's a Corolla. I'll say a lot of the same things that I said about the car last year. Is this the nicest compact car to drive? Absolutely not. And I don't think anybody would make the accusation that it is, or it ever has been. And I don't really think that's Toyota's goal. But it is extremely efficient. It's competent to drive. But, you know, a Honda Civic or a Nissan Sentra, even a Subaru Impreza handles better. The ride on the Corolla is pretty good, but I think the Impreza is still the king of ride quality in this segment. It's fine. A Kia Forte is probably slightly nicer to drive than a Corolla Hybrid, but the Corolla Hybrid, even though it lost 6 miles per gallon on the highway, the fuel economy that you get out of this car and the reputation for reliability and the resale value, if you're strictly looking for the best investment, and to the exclusion of all other factors, I don't really care how it drives, I just need to get from point A to point B as inexpensively as possible, and I'm looking at the overall total cost of ownership for 10 years. Purchasing the vehicle, fueling the vehicle, insuring the vehicle, repairing the vehicle, servicing the vehicle, and then resale value at the end of its life cycle or the end of its use. For me, I think that this car is the champ. I really do. I think that if you just look at it purely from a dispassionate point of view and an analytical point of view, yeah, the Corolla Hybrid is the way to go, especially considering the fact that they made it $1,500 less expensive for the 2023 models. They did add a couple of new trim levels as well. This is just a base LE, so you can get the XLE, which is fancier and more luxurious, and then they also make the SE, which is the sport model, which also comes with some sort of an all-wheel drive system on it. I have not driven a Corolla Hybrid SE yet. But, you know, again, if you didn't need to have all-wheel drive and you were just looking at it just from the Dave Ramsey, spend the least amount of money and enjoy your life the least amount possible, this is the one to buy. This is absolutely the car to buy. And it's not a bad car to drive. This is a test drive video, so, you know, I do talk about the driving experience here, but the reason why I make these videos and I drive as many cars as I do is I love driving cars. And to me, this is not, it's not a bad car to drive, it's just, there's no excitement here, you know, and why should there be? It's a Corolla Hybrid, that's not really what it's for. But yeah, the fuel economy is there. I did a fuel economy test on this car. It certainly performs worse than the 2022 model, but I did get it to outperform its EPA rating on the highway. So it still gets really good gas mileage. I think that it would have been better off just leaving the powertrain the same, because you don't really feel the extra power, and you definitely do lose a few miles per gallon on the highway. So I don't see that as a worthwhile compromise. I think what probably really happened is the new electric motor setup somehow is cheaper to build, which is why they were able to cut the MSRP of the vehicle for 2023. Because let's be honest, what got cheaper between 2022 and 2023? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's also why it feels slightly less refined than the old one. And don't get me wrong, it's not offensive. It's not like it's a big problem, you know? It's just not quite as good as last year's as far as the smoothness on it. You feel it a little bit more. But I like the front end a little bit better on this one. It's not a huge change, but I think that they made a good improvement there. The car still has okay steering and handling. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a Corolla Hybrid. You know, the car does what it should do, which is be inexpensive and economical and practical and reliable. As far as I know, they're reliable. I've only had this car for 3 days, but it hasn't broken down on me yet. It's got like less than 1,000 miles on it, so it better not. But you know, I mean, I feel safe going out on a limb and saying that this Toyota Corolla Hybrid will be reliable. It's a Toyota Corolla, of course it will. Toyota has that reputation for reliability, and they've earned it. But yeah, you can just... Ooh, there goes one of those Solos. Seeing a stupid Solo electric car drive by is more interesting than driving this one, because it just, yeah, the chassis just kind of feels blah, 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 blah. Nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of, just kind of there, you know. But I have a feeling somebody who really wants this car isn't quite so interested in how it drives. They're interested in saving some money. And this car will save you some money. There's no question about that. And if you just need to get from A to B and you don't want to spend a ton of money, go for it. It's a great choice. If you're looking for something sporty and fun, potentially look elsewhere. And that's kind of the long and the short of it as far as the Corolla Hybrid goes. I will put a link to various other videos that I've made about these cars in the description. And if you have any questions or anything you want to tell me about how amazing I am, put it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.